Barfi couldn't speak, but he felt everything. Rizwan from My Name is Khan remembered every detail but struggled with emotion. Shaun Murphy in The Good Doctor saw what no one else could, and yet no one truly saw him. Forrest Gump ran through life with innocence, mistaken for simplicity. Rancho in Three Idiots questioned everything, not to rebel, but to breathe. Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory lived by logic, misunderstood by society, but true to himself. Each of them was called strange. Each of them was left out. And yet, each of them changed lives, not by trying to fit in, but by being utterly themselves. These weren't just characters. They were reflections of a world that still doesn't know how to love what it doesn't understand. And for many, they were the first time they felt seen. On why these characters feel so familiar. They don't just entertain. They whisper to the parts of us that we're told to be quiet. Barfi's silence felt louder than 1,000 words, like those who feel too much but can't always express it. Rizwan's hyperfocus, his routines, his honesty, mirrored the rhythm of so many autistic minds navigating a chaotic world. Shaun's brilliance wasn't celebrated. It was feared. Like many neurodivergents, he wasn't rejected for his flaws, but for his difference. Forrest wasn't chasing success. He was chasing love, safety, simplicity, but the world only measures worth in speed and noise. Rancho asked why, when everyone else stayed silent. A rebel, yes, but also a seeker. Of truth, of meaning, of breathing space, in a world obsessed with competition. Sheldon was never meant to be the joke. He was the mirror of those who live by patterns, rules, clarity, and struggle to decode the messy world of feelings. These characters weren't written for awards. They were written for relief, for those who saw pieces of their inner storms reflected in a fictional sky. Because sometimes, fiction is the only place reality can breathe. Representation isn't just about visibility, it's about survival. In a world that celebrates loud voices and quick answers, those who feel deeply are often left behind. When you see Barfi smile despite not fitting in, you remember it's possible to find light without needing to explain yourself. When Rizwan walks into a crowd, panicked by too much noise, you realize your sensitivity isn't weakness, it's wiring. When Shaun operates with precision but stumbles through human emotions, you learn that intelligence comes in different dialects. Representation like this isn't just comfort, it's translation. For the child who was punished for fidgeting, for the teen who was called too emotional, for the adult who masks every day just to seem normal in boardrooms and weddings. These stories say, you are not defective, you are different. And difference doesn't need fixing, it needs space. When cinema dares to show complexity, it gives language to the silent struggles. It builds bridges between isolation and belonging, between being seen and being understood. Because sometimes, seeing someone like you, even in a fictional world, can keep you alive in the real one. What happens when you're never reflected? For every Forrest Gump that inspires, there are 100 characters who never make it past the edit room. Too awkward, too quiet, too strange for a mainstream script. And so, millions grow up without a mirror. They learn to apologize for who they are before they even understand what they are. They're told to calm down, fit in, stop being so much by classrooms, families, and job interviews that mistake difference for defiance. And when there are no stories to say otherwise, shame fills the silence. Without representation, we don't just lose characters, we lose possibilities. The possibility of a student raising their hand, not fearing they'll stutter. The possibility of a parent understanding their child instead of trying to fix them. The possibility of a world where neurodivergent brilliance isn't filtered out, but amplified. When you're never shown, you begin to shrink. When you're only shown as a stereotype, you begin to mimic. But we are not echoes, we are voices. And we need stories that remember us. This soul, deserves to be seen. They were never just characters. Barfi dancing in the rain, Sheldon quietly organizing his world, Ishaan lost in the blur of letters, Khan insisting, "My name is Khan, and I am not a terrorist." These weren't performances. They were confessions, unspoken truths dressed as cinema. They whispered to us, "You're not broken. You're just unheard." And that whisper became a lifeline. Representation isn't about applause. It's about recognition. It's the child in the last row finally lifting their head because someone like them made it to the screen. It's the quiet ones, no longer apologizing for their quiet. The different ones no longer being asked to be less. It's about giving the misunderstood a mirror and saying, "You're allowed to exist exactly as you are." Because behind every neurodivergent character that made us feel seen, there's a real person still waiting to be understood. Not just in movies, but in homes, in classrooms, in boardrooms, in love. You are not a glitch in the system. You are the reboot. And your story, it's not too much. It's exactly what the world has been missing.